guys, so welcome to my first weekly vlog. I'm gonna be answering questions that you guys asked off of my TikTok. So before I start, I'm just gonna give you a quick update. It's officially been a week. Catalea's a week old today. I think Saturday was the first day. No, was it Saturday or was it yesterday? I think Saturday and yesterday was the first day that I actually napped. Like, the only thing I did was fed Catalea. Avery took care of her pretty much all day. It was amazing. So yeah, a little bit about her birth. I went into labor at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was in labor for 5 hours. She was born at 10:28 in the morning on Monday morning, August 10th, 2020. I'm thinking of Sayuri. My bad. I was in the hospital for 2 days, so Monday, Tuesday. Not even. I went home Tuesday at 6 o'clock at night, so that was fun. Yeah, I did wear my mask the whole entire time. That's the part that sucked. It was really hard trying to breathe through my contractions because every time they're like, just breathe, I'm like sucking in my mask. My mask is like dumb tight on me. It's like, and I'm like, yay. And then you just see me blow out my mask. It was just so weird. But yes, that was fun. I didn't really sleep at all the first couple nights. I was just kind of like, it just felt weird. And I just kept on checking on her. Like, is she breathing? Is she okay? And I just kept staring at her like, oh my god, she's so cute. Oh, Catalea, they weigh 6.5 pounds. And her length was 19 inches. So yeah, I make some small babies. Sayuri was 6.2. And she was 19 inches. So Catalea was bigger than Sayuri. Okay, so I'm just jumping into the questions. How does Sayuri feel about Catalea? She loves Catalea. She wants to carry her all the time. She likes to help. She really wants to feed her, but we go, how, Sayuri? How are you going to feed her? Like, you're going to hold my boob? Is that how you're going to feed her? She just stares at us like, you could always put it in a bottle. Yeah, true. But not yet. We're just trying to get her comfortable with breastfeeding. People are asking, when do y'all expect to see Catalea? I don't know. That's up to Avery. He really does not want her on any of their social media. I mean, we posted her on our Facebook and my own personal Instagram that I have my family on. Yeah, she's posted on there. And he posts her on his Instagram. Our pages are private. Our Facebooks are private. We're not trying to... It's because of all the hate pages. He doesn't want me to post her at all. So, yeah. He said I could post her if I get 3 million followers on TikTok. But he knows it's not going to happen. And he's not going to lower it. So... It was just kind of like a ha-ha, joke's on you, you're never going to get that type moment, but yeah. Did I have postpartum depression with Sayuri? Yes, I did. I had postpartum depression like a motherfucker with her. Oops, my bad. It sucked. Because I had it in the past with Sayuri, the chances of me getting it again, it's very high. But for right now, I'm very relaxed. Avery's such a big help. The circumstances are really different. I'm a lot older now. I do go to therapy, so I don't think I am going to get postpartum depression, but you never know. Let's just finger cross that I don't. What's the hardest part about being a mom? Everything. Everything. You just worried about, are you doing things correctly? I question myself, not only like having a newborn all over again. It's been 8 years. But even raising Sayuri, I question myself all the time. I try not to, because I know I am doing the best that I can, and I'm providing for my kids the best that I can. Whatever I could provide for them, this is what I could provide for you. They're going to have a good life no matter what. And no matter what, I'm always... It's one of those things where you can't... Like, there's no such thing as a perfect mom. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, my life is so perfect. My kids are perfect. Like, no, there's no such thing as a perfect life, perfect mom. You know, I make my own mistakes as a parent. And it's a live and a learn thing. It's a trial and error. Morning routines with the newborn. Pretty much I change her when she first cries. I change her because usually she's wet. Then I sit down, or I just lay back down on the bed, and then I latch her on and I feed her, and then usually she goes back to sleep, and I get to go back to sleep too. That's the morning routine so far. What's the worst part and best part about pregnancy? The worst part, okay, let me do for Sayuri. The worst part about my pregnancy with Sayuri was the fact that I was in labor for 24 hours. The best part about my pregnancy with Sayuri was it was a really good pregnancy. I didn't have no morning sickness. I had no issues whatsoever. The worst part with Catalea, when I was pregnant with her, was I threw up every single day, and even towards the end. As I got into my third trimester, I stopped throwing up every single day. I probably threw up like once a week, maybe twice a week, but I still threw up, you know, every single month. Every month that I was pregnant, I threw up. Like, there was not a day, there was not a month or day that I did not throw up until like my third trimester. And then it was just kind of like, oh, okay, like, yeah, this week I didn't throw up. Which is horrible. And then, yeah, that was the horrible part. The best part about, and my belly with Cataleo was so much heavier, and I felt like, I don't know if it was just the way that she was laying in me or what it was, but I felt so much pressure on my left hip. Oh my God. It was horrible. It legit felt like someone was taking a knife and just jabbing it in me and twisting in it. And I'm like, no, horrible. Best part was that was the easiest delivery ever. Like, what? 5 hours in labor. Like, I did 3 sets of pushes, and each 3 sets were 3 pushes each. So I pushed 9 times, and that was it, and she was out. That was amazing. How did I come up with the baby's name? Both. So Sayuri, I wanted to call her Lily. So I was looking, but I didn't want to write Lily. So I was looking at different ways and names to do it. And then I saw Sayuri. I was like, I've seen that somewhere. And my brother goes, hey, you want to go watch Memoirs of a Geisha? I love, that's my favorite book, favorite movie. So we're watching it, and then it comes to the part where the girl, she gets a name change, and her name is Sayuri. And I was like, that's where I seen the name. That means small lily. That's going to be my baby's name, Sayuri. And that was it. That was it for her. Yeah, I gotta stop. So that was fun. For Catalea, we went back and forth. We really did like Miyuki, but my family was like, no. Like, what is up with you in Japanese names? I was like, I don't know, they're just so pretty. And my family's like, no, not gonna happen. No. Even though it's my kid. You know, I can name my kid whatever I want to name my kid, but my family's like, no. His family was like, no. So then we saw Catalea. My aunt hates the name. So my aunt is in denial about the name. She calls her Aviana by her middle name. My aunt's the one who picked out Catalea's middle name, but the way that we did Catalea was we was watching Colombiana, and I was like, that's a flower, you know, because I wanted another flower name, because Sayuri's a small lily. I was like, oh, that's a flower, that's pretty, Catalea. How do you feel about Catalea, babe? And he was like, yeah, I like it. Okay, Catalea, all right, we could do that. So I was like, okay, yay, Catalea. But I wanted to spell it differently, so we're like looking at different ways to spell it. I was like, but we're not spelling it like with the C. We're spelling it with the K, and we're changing it a little bit. Were my contractions bad? Yes. With Sayuri, I didn't have contractions. With Catalea, oh yeah, my contractions were horrible. By the time I went to the hospital, so pretty much I was having contractions all weekend long, but I did not know it. So, like, I kept having, like, lower back pains. It started Friday. I was having, like, lower back pains, and I'm, like, I could not sleep. And it was like, why are you up? And I'm like, I just can't sleep. My back hurts. Come Saturday, same thing. He was like, babe, you need to come to bed. And I'm like, I can't. Like, we kind of got into an argument about that. I was like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm in pain. And he was like, whatever. You just don't want to cuddle me. And I was like, I'm in pain. My back is killing me. I don't want to lay down. So, yeah, then Sunday, same thing. But that I just ended up, I was so tired for not sleeping for like 2 days. I just lay down Sunday night. Then I wake up. I woke up twice. I woke up like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh, this shit hurts. And I never, like, I didn't have contractions with Sayuri. My water broke with her, so I didn't know what contractions were. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yo, this shit hurts. And Avery comes to the bathroom. He was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know. I'm just in pain, you know. And he was like, I was like, it's all right. She'll come out soon. I go lay back down. And 2 hours later, yeah, I get up because I'm in pain. I had to go pee. When I go wipe myself after I'm done peeing, I noticed there was a little bit of blood. And I kind of freaked out, and I called the on-call, and I was like, oh, like, I have a little bit of blood. And they're explaining to me, they're like, do you have lower back pain? I was like, yeah. They're like, for how long? And I was like, I've been feeling it all weekend long. They're like, oh, honey, you're in labor. You should go to the hospital because your mucus plug just came out. That's why you're bleeding a little bit. So, that was just horrible. I was at 4 centimeters by the time I went to the hospital. Yeah. That was fun. I don't recommend. By the time I got to the hospital, like the delivery room, girl, I was like, can I get the epidural? Yeah. Is Sayuri attached to Kat? Yes. Yes, she is. Oh my god, Sayuri wants to hold her. Sayuri wants to do everything with her. How is Avery doing with the baby? Is he happy? He is ecstatic. He loves the baby. He says I hog her, and it's a little bit true. I do hog her. What color eyes does she have? She has like bluish green. I think there might be hazel. Do I want any more kids in the future? No. No, I do not. Because by the time Sayuri finish high school, I'll be like 38. Yeah, I'll be 38. And by the time Kat finish high school, I'll be 40. I'll be in my late 40s, almost 50. So, no, I don't want no more kids. No, I'll be in my late 40s. So, yeah, no, I'm good. I would like to enjoy my older years without having more kids. Would I show the baby on YouTube? I am not quite sure about that. And can you do a labor and delivery in both labors? Yes. Okay, so I just did Kat. Sayuri was June 23rd. 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what it is with the number 5, but like Sayuri started it. At 5 o'clock in the morning, my water broke. I legit thought I peed myself. I passed out on the couch watching, I believe I was watching Twilight or something like that. I was 19 years old. I was obsessed with Twilight. I want to say I was watching Twilight. I fell asleep on the couch. I woke up. I felt like a strange feeling. And like it just came down. Like it happened so quick. Like I woke up and I was like, did I just pee myself? And then I stood up off the couch and there was like a little spot on the couch. And as I'm walking to the bathroom, it's kind of like coming down my leg. And I was like, am I peeing myself? And I went over to the bathroom. And once I went right over to the toilet, it came down like a freaking waterfall. It was like, psh. I was like, I go to my aunt. I go to her room and I was like, Jackie. And she was like, what? And I was like, I think my water broke. She goes, okay, the light. Come back when you know for sure. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I changed my pants. And then, I go call my sister-in-law, and I was like, I think my water broke. She goes, did it come down like a waterfall? I was like, yeah. She goes, how many times have you changed your pants? I was like, I'm about to change it for a second time. She goes, yeah, your water broke. And then my aunt gets up. She's like, what? Your water broke? And then I'm super afraid of hospitals, so I didn't go to the hospital until like 3 hours later, so like 8 o'clock. And I was in labor with Sayuri 24 hours. She didn't want to come out, and I was not dilating. They had to give me Pitocin, and they stuck a pill up my hoo-ha just to help my wall to soften and open up so then I could dilate and stuff. I had the epidural. My aunt asked for the epidural right away. So I didn't feel any contractions. I did not know what contractions felt like until I had Catalea. Yeah, Sayuri was born at 5:15 in the morning on June 24th. And that was fun. So yeah. That's that. Am I going to get a tattoo of Kat's name? Yes. Yes, I am. Hopefully next Saturday. How long did it take Kat to get out of your stomach. 5 hours. Which pregnancy was harder? Cat. Cat all the way. Like, Sayuri was like a walk in the park. Like, I was eating everything on sight. I was perfectly fine. Had no care in the world. I was like, whatever. This, with Cat, I was throwing up. I couldn't eat certain things. I couldn't smell certain things. There's times where I could not get out of bed. It was horrible. I was raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I was born in Puerto Rico, Baja, Puerto Rico. I lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida from the age of 6 to 12. I lived in Puerto Rico with my grandparents. Well, I lived back and forth, but for a majority of the time, my grandparents raised me. Because of my childhood, that's a different blog. I'll do that if you guys have more questions. But because of my childhood, yeah. I moved to Orlando, Florida when I was 12. I was about to turn 13, I believe. And I lived here up until I was 20. Then I lived in Massachusetts from 20 to 27 to 26, actually. And then I moved back down to Florida right before my 27th birthday. I've been back in Florida for a year. It'll be, yeah, for a year. It'll be 2 years soon. So, yeah. Why am I loud? I am Puerto Rican and Cuban. Like, we're just naturally loud. I don't have a volume. Sorry. How do you know when your baby was coming? Like, real deal. I didn't know. I had to call on call. I had to call my OBGYN on call. And they took like 20 minutes to call me back just to tell me we're going to the hospital. Like, if I was on my way to the hospital because I was in labor. And I was like, I am? I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, babe. I have blood. And it was not like, it was just kind of like a spotting. It was not like horrible, but I was just freaking out. And my boyfriend's like, you want to go us to go to the hospital? I was like, I don't know what to do. I called the on-call. I'm waiting for them to call me back. And my boyfriend's laying down in the bed. And he's like, yeah, okay. Whatever. I'll get up when they call you back. And I'm here, like, getting the hospital bag. Like, it was ready, but, like, I'm just getting myself ready and mentally prepared because I hate hospitals. So, yeah. I'm not the person to be asking that. Does Cat look like Sayuri at all? No. They have two different dads. No. Am I going to show the baby on YouTube? Nope. Or when you get 3 million followers. Avery says 3 million followers. He knows. He's not going to lower it because he knows I'm not going to get 3 million followers. So, yeah. He just said that because I've been bothering him. I was like, yo, come on. What, like, can we make a deal? Come on. They want to see her just once. Even just a photo. And you get to pick the photo. And he was like, 3 million followers. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to get that. He was like, not my problem. Who this cat look like? Avery. There's a picture of Avery when he was just born. And we sent it to my aunt. Like, I'm holding the picture and I'm holding Cat. Like, it's right next to each other. Like, the picture's right next to Cat's face. And my aunt's like, I told you she was your twin. They look exactly the same. Hopefully, this one is what you... What do you think? Okay. What do you think she will look like when she gets older? You forgot the you in it. Okay. But I'm not gonna. People, grammar. Hopefully she could look like me a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm a little bit jealous that none of my babies came out looking like me. But Sayuri does look like me now, so I'll take that. You could look like your dad as a baby when you first come out because you're going to end up looking like me anyways. Was I scared for birth? Yes. Oh my God. Like, I started freaking out when my water broke. My water broke at 10 o'clock. And we called for my nurse to come in because I was like, I think my water broke and I'm numb because I have the epidural. I'm numb. And I was like, babe, can you check? He's like, I'm not checking. And then I kind of moved my leg a little bit. It was like my legs were like dumb fuzzy. Like it was really fuzzy and heavy. I could not even. So I just kind of like moved them a little bit. And I kind of felt it, and I was like, yeah, I definitely, my water broke, babe. I think so. It kind of feels wet. So when she came in, she was like, she checked me, and she quickly called for the doctors to come in. She was like, oh, her water broke. I haven't checked her to see if she, if she dilated more. You want to just come, or you want me to check her? I forgot what it's called when the baby poops in you, but Catalea ended up pooping in me. So I started kind of like, I was shaking, like my nerves and my anxiety was getting to the best of me, and they really saw that I'm shaking, and Avery's trying to calm me down, and the nurse is trying to calm me down, and it was just really bad. That was the scary part for me during the labor, because I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, my baby pooped inside of me. They ended up calling the respiratory, had them inside the delivery room. When the doctors came in, they checked me. They're like, you could push. Took me 9 pushes. She was out. She was breathing fine. They checked her, and yeah, she was perfectly fine. She didn't eat any of it. So I was like, after they told me that, I started to calm down, but that was the scariest part. I was like, oh my God, like, my baby, is my baby okay? And I just wanted her out. Like, I really just, I was like, oh my God, we need to get her out, like, now. Sayuri which baby was more difficult to deliver? Sayuri. Definitely Sayuri. Sayuri was a pain. She got stuck at one point, and they're like, we might have to do a C-section. And they had the operating room on standby for me, because she got stuck. But then, like, they wanted to use those clamps to get her out, and I was like, no, I could do it. And they're like, okay, well, you're going to have to do a really big push. It took 45 minutes, but, like, I delivered her. She came out, without any help. I did tear. She did tear me pretty bad, but I was happy rather tearing than going into an emergency C-section. When are you going to pierce Kat's ears? I'm gonna go to her doctor to get her ears pierced. We might do that when she's 6 months old. Would you ever give Kat formula? If you do, how old would she be? I am gonna try not to give her formula at all. Hopefully I could breastfeed her up until she has her first little tooth popping out, and then after that, I am done breastfeeding her because I'm not trying to have her chomp off my nipple. What's Sayuri's dad's name? Jared. What's Kat due on her actual due date? No, she was 2 days late. My due date was August 8th. I gave birth to her August 10th. The little shit came freaking late. She wanted to be dramatic. Sayuri was 2 weeks early. This one was 2 days late. What was Sayuri's reaction to Kat? I actually have a reaction video to Sayuri meeting Kat for the first time. She was so excited. She stared back to me like, ah. She was happy about that. Will I start uploading family vlogs more? Yes. Yes, I will. What do you think Kat's personality would be like when she gets older? I don't know. Like, I personally feel like, okay, so I'm a Cancer, but I'm like that. Like, the way that I describe my personality and how I am as a person is I'm a firework. I am beautiful to look at as afar, but if you get too close to me, I'm dangerous. Like, don't push me. I'm very sweet. And I personally feel like the way that God blessed me was Sayuri is my emotional sweet side. And I think Kat's going to be like my badass side because this baby does not really cry. Like, she's pretty chill. But when she wants something, yo, like, what? She makes it known, like, yo, hi, I'm here. Give me this. You need to change me. I want that boob. So I think, and Kat's she's a Leo. She's a fire. So I think Kat is my fiery side and Sayuri is my emotional, my water. Because she is my little Cancer. So, yeah. What made me choose Kat? I already did that. What time was your baby born? 10:28 a.m. I don't know. I have a lot of... How long do you bleed after? Doctors, well, depending on your doctor and depending how badly you ripped, anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. I don't really bleed as much, but because I am up instead of, being resting and relaxing, I'm up doing stuff and being active, I'm most likely going to bleed for 6 weeks. I don't have a lot of clots, but yeah, I bled for 6 weeks with Sayuri. It all depends on everybody else, but I only have 5 weeks left of bleeding, so you gotta remember you're pregnant for 9 months. That's 9 months that you don't have a period, so your body is kind of like making up for it. So I'm pretty much on a period for a month and 2 weeks. What's something that I wish I could do forever with Kat? I don't know. Something I wish I could do forever with both my kids is both my daughters are bond forever. Like, be close forever. No secrets, no lies, you know. Just love and trust. That's what I wish for both of my kids, that I could do with both of them. What is the worst part about being a mom? The worst part about being a mom is, you know, like, I suffer from PTSD. You don't really have a break being a mom. Being a mom is a 24-hour job, 7 days a week job. It's not something that, like, even when your kids are older, you don't stop being a mom, you know? Your kids just don't need you, you know? But you're still their mom. You're still going to worry about them. You're always going to love them, you know? So I think that's the hardest part, especially, like, me suffering from PTSD. There's times where I don't even want to get out of bed, but I know I have to because I have responsibilities, you know? So that's the worst part about being a mom, is kind of like putting yourself aside because you have responsibilities. And it just gets hard sometimes. So, yeah. But it's also the best part about being a mom is your kids love you regardless. It's unconditional love. So, you can't really complain. Which pregnancy was heavy? Which one was heavy during pregnancy? Kat or Sayuri? Kat. Kat all the way. They legit sat there like, oh my god, this baby's really big. She's long. She has no room. You know, she's going to be like an 8-pound baby. And I was like, damn, is that why, like, it hurts so bad? And I feel so much pressure. And they're like, yeah, that's why, you know, your second pregnancy, it's always the heaviest. It's always the biggest. When she came out and they told me her weight, 6.5, I was like, legit? Really? That was it? Just 0.3 pounds more than Sayuri? Like, shut up. Like, no. I was like, how big is she? They're like 19 inches. I was like, the same as Sayuri. The only difference is Kat was a little bit heavier than her. Not that much. How long did it take for the epidural to kick in? I'm going to tell you, I don't think that epidural kicked in fully. I felt every contraction still. And the girl was like, you know, you can press that button. And I was like, in my head, I didn't want to because, I don't know, like, I'm very mental about things. Like, I don't like taking medication. I'm a very natural person. I don't like taking medication because the long-term effects of it, you know? I'm just thinking long-term. So in my head, I'm like, but she already pressed the button. She goes, yeah, but that's why you have, you know, it's like the epidural is an ongoing thing. You're always going to, like, it's pumping ongoing. But if you need, like, a little extra dose of it, you could press the button and it'll give you a little bit more. You just can't press it too much because then it locks you out. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, so if it's an ongoing thing, what are the effects of it? Because I'm not trying to end up paralyzed. So I pressed it once, and then I'm still feeling it. Like, with Sayuri, I didn't feel anything. Like, I couldn't even lift up my legs. I didn't even feel my legs. From the waist down, I felt nothing the first time I got the epidural. With Kat, when I got the epidural, I still felt it. I was still able to kind of move my legs. My legs was just really freaking heavy. I'm still moving my legs. I still feel the contractions. I felt everything. And I'm like, so yeah. I'm just thinking about like, oh my God, I don't want to end up paralyzed. And when they stuck the epidural, like, it hurt so bad. My left leg, it sent a shock down my left leg. I never felt that the first time. I got so scared. I was walking when they took out the birth and they took out the epidural and everything like that. They walked me to the bathroom. And as I was walking to the bathroom, my left leg gave out. Like, I freaking collapsed a little bit. And the nurse had to catch me. She's like, are you good? You need to sit down. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I had to hold on to the wall a little bit because I was so scared that my leg was going to give out again. And then it happened again. When we came home, I'm walking and my left leg gave out. And as my left leg gave out, I was trying to step over the dog. I was trying to step over William, and I ended up kind of tripping over him. And I went into a split a little bit, and I freaking ripped my hoo-ha a little bit more. And I didn't get stitches, so like... my rip went from like a little tiny tear to like, no, it was like that big. I was like, oh my God. And I bled a little bit. That shit was horrible. It was not fun at all. Was or is Sayuri jealous now that you have Kat? No, she's not jealous at all. She probably uses a Samsung to record. No, I have an iPhone 11 and I have a iPod. So no Samsungs. It's just all about the lighting. So yeah, sometimes I have shitty lighting. Does Kat cry a lot? Not really. She doesn't really cry that much. She kind of like, What did your daughter think of Avery? She thought he was mean at first, honestly, she really wanted me and her dad to get back together, so it's not that she didn't like Avery, it's just she didn't know how to feel about Avery because she felt like he was replacing her dad, and that's never the case. Like, her relationship with her dad is her relationship with her dad, and me and him we're still cool, He does a couple things that I don't like, and I'm not afraid to voice my opinion to him, but I was with him for 7 years. He was my best friend. We're still pretty cool. We're still pretty close. And it's better that way because we have a child together. I'd rather be civil and have a friendship with him than sit there and not have a friendship with him and hate each other's guts to where we're not getting nowhere. It only affects the child, So the fact that my daughter, Sayuri, gets to see that me and her dad has not a great relationship, but a good relationship. Like, we still remain friends after the fact that we're not together. I think it makes her feel a little bit better. How did I feel when I first saw Kat? Oh my God, I was so tired, to be honest. I was so tired. I was kind of out of it, but I was so excited to see her, especially knowing that she was breathing okay, she was fine, she hadn't had no issues. I was relieved. So when I was able to hold her, I was like, oh my God. I stared at Avery. I was like I was able to breathe. All my anxiety left my body the moment they placed her on my chest instead of taking her to the ICU. If she would have left that room, I would have had really bad anxiety. I was already having bad anxiety, but I would have broke down. I was on the verge of breaking down when they grabbed her, and they grabbed her so quick, and they put her on the table just to check her, and then all I heard was her cry, and I was like, oh my God, okay, so she's good, right? And they're like, she's perfectly fine, there's nothing in her lungs, you know, she didn't eat it. They're going through it all, and like, I was like, oh my God, like, thank you. But I didn't believe it until they placed her on top of my chest. So that was that. What was the hardest part of labor? To stay calm. Once they told me that she pooped in me, I could not. And then I was telling the nurse, I was like, I feel like I have to push. And she was like, just wait for the doctor. She's coming. She's going to check you, you know. And I was like, I feel like I have to push. And she was like, she told Avery, she goes, press that button for me one more time, a couple times for me. And Avery pressed the Epidural button just for me to kind of stop. But like, I'm shaking. I was like, I just want to push. I just want to push. I just want to push. And Avery's trying to calm me down. Pregnancy cravings. I ate everything on site with Sayuri. You know, I really crave with Sayuri. I was craving, like, my weirdest craving was homemade French fries. I love to make homemade French fries, and it had to be homemade French fries. I would take a potato, slice it up, and it had to be sliced up a certain way. Okay, I would slice my potato a certain way to make them into French fries. And then we had a deep fryer. I would deep fry them bitches. And then I'll stick them inside the oven. Just to get it a little bit more crunchier. I'll stick them inside the oven. And then I'll take them out. I'll lightly salt them. And then I'll pour honey all over it. And that was my favorite craving with Sayuri. With Kat, I was just eating a lot of cakes and ice cream. That's what I was craving. Cakes and ice cream. I was craving like more sweets with her. So yes. Have I smoked a blunt or gotten drunk yet? I have not smoked a blunt yet. I'm waiting till my milk really comes in, and I'm waiting to talk to my OB about it, because I'm breastfeeding. I just want to make sure, like, I'm in the clear with everything. They do know I have a medical marijuana card, and they know the reason why I smoked. I stopped smoking because I was pregnant. I haven't smoked yet because I at least want to be clear to smoke by my doctors before I start smoking again, because I don't want it to affect my baby. I did had a glass of wine, so yes, that was nice. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit tipsy. Do I think Kat will be a mommy girl or a daddy's girl? Girls are always daddy's little girls. I'm going to tell you that. Do, 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 do. Oh, that makes no sense. Are you still receiving pain from your pregnancy? Kind of. The pain is like, it's not from pregnancy, it's just from labor. I can't sit a certain way. It's uncomfortable. I got a tear. Cat teared me. But yeah. That's all the questions. I'll be doing another one. You guys have more questions, leave them in the comments down below. It could be anywhere from Kat, Sayuri. Got questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I will be doing weekly vlogs about how Kat and I are doing. This one was just my longest one, so sorry that it's really long. My first vlog, so don't come at me too much. But yeah, first week of being a mom of 2, and I think it's been pretty okay. I've been body shamed on TikTok. That was not fun. Yeah, I gotta understand, I just gave birth a week ago, so yeah. Your body does not bounce back that fucking fast. It does not happen like overnight. You think you're gonna be like, ooh, I'm skinny. No, it does not happen like that. You're gonna have some loose skins. Bright side about this pregnancy, I didn't get more stretch marks. All my stretch marks were from Sayuri. And now that I'm not pregnant, a lot of my stretch marks faded away. I can still see them, but they're lighter than what they were before. And I'm so happy about that. So thank you, Kat, for that. She didn't stretch me out more. She just kind of helped me a little bit. She helped my little stretch marks issue, and I'm not gonna lie, my stretch marks were one of my biggest insecurities, but I love them at the same time, and I rocked them. You know, I really didn't care. But yes, being a mama too it's a new challenge. I love both my kids equally. I love Sayuri for who she is, and I'm a love Kat for who she is. The love I have for each of them are different, but it's equal, you know? So yeah, I can't wait to see how Kat grows and how Sayuri's gonna be a wonderful big sister. She's already a wonderful big sister. Like, she wants to help so much, and she's amazing. My boyfriend's amazing because he's such a big help. And Kat's amazing because she's just so cute, and you know, I can't get enough of her. But yeah. Thank you for watching my vlog. Come again next week. I promise it won't be as long.